everyone, Sarah here from Sarah in Wonderland, and today we have the first of many Halloween tutorials. So I apologize in advance, I am pretty sick right now, but we are going to roll with it. So today's video is on this spider illusion makeup. I love the way it turned out, so if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. So first, going in with the ColourPop X I Love Sada E palette, we're going to be taking the shade Distressed, which is this matte bone shade, and we are just going to be setting our entire eyelid. I already have it primed. Then going in with the Jaclyn Hill palette, I am mixing the shades Silk Cream and MFEO as our initial transition shade. So just taking a big fluffy brush and bringing this all the way from the outer to the inner corner, as well as on the outer corner of the eye. You also see that I take this shadow and flick it out quite a bit in more of a cat shape. Then going in with the shade Pukey, which is this warm mustardy brown, I'm going to put this deeper into the crease and blending that into our transition shades. Again, we're taking this all the way to the inner corner. And then just taking a clean blending brush and going over the edges, just make sure everything is nice and blended. Then going into the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette, I'm going to be taking this warm chocolatey brown, and then we are just going to further deepen the outer corner and the crease. So again, you'll notice every single time I get a little bit lower, and farther down into the crease, and then you just want to take your time and make sure you're blending that into the other shades. Going back into the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, we are going to be using the shade Central Park, which again is just a little bit deeper, and we're going to take this and again pack it on the outer corner and pack it further into the crease. Then going into the black shade from the Kat Von D palette, this is my absolute favorite black. I'm going to pack this all over the lid. As well, I'm going to put this right directly into the crease so that when we add our lid shade, we won't have to reblend it out with as much black and have any fallout. Then going in with two Dose of Colors eyeshadows, so we're going to go in with the Dose of Color Block Party eyeshadow in the shade X-Ray. It is a black with silver glitter. And then as well, going into the I Love Sada E Dose of Colors palette, and we are going to be taking the shade Finders Keepers, which is a black shade with multicolored glitter. I'm going to take this and wet my brush and pack this on my lid. And then very gently with that crease brush with a little bit of black on it, we are going to blend the lid shade into the crease just a little bit more. Then taking a makeup wipe, I'm going to wipe any fallout that we had. Then taking the Tarte Clean Slate Primer, I am going to prime where my pores would be the largest. So we're going to prime just around the nose and the mouth area. And while we're doing that, I forgot to glue down one of my brows. So taking our good old Elmer's glue stick, you guys have seen me do this a bunch. And I'm going to brush the glue stick in the direction of the hair growth, and then in the opposite, and then back in the direction that the hair grows. Taking a spoolie and brushing those hairs flat up against my face. And then taking a little bit of water on my finger, we are going to further smooth that out. Then going into the Tarte CC, this is actually an under eye corrector. It's like an orange corrector, but it cancels out the dark tones in your brows really, really well. You're just going to take this and stamp it into your brows. You don't really want to rub around because you don't want to lift the glue. Also, make sure you wait till the glue is dry, obviously. Then taking a beauty sponge, I am gently going to dab that out, and taking some Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, we're going to set that. I did about 4 layers of glue. I didn't include it all because we would be here for a very long time. And then I just added some extra coverage with another layer of the CC corrector. And then again, stamping that into the brow and adding some translucent powder. Next, taking the Lancome Tinty Doll Ultra 24 Hour Wear Foundation and the Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation, because this is more my shade right now. And I just mixed the two and then applied this over my face and blended it out with a beauty blender. I kind of went quickly through this because you guys have seen me do this quite a few times, and I think you're here more for the spider illusion. And make sure you go down your neck so that it blends into the rest of your body. And then taking my favorite concealer ever, which is the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium Honey. I'm just going to apply this under both of my eyes in a triangle shape and blending that out with my beauty sponge. You guys know back and forth motions in both directions so we have no creases. And then also to the high points of my face, so between my brows, bridge of my nose, around my nose because that gets the reddest, cupid's bow, and chin. Also, sorry guys, I know my camera is focusing on the palette a lot. I have changed this setting on my camera finally, and also this is my first video that I filmed in a long time, so I was a little bit rusty. Next, taking my all-time favorite under eye setting powder, and this is actually the Kat Von D blotting powder, and I just set that in the triangle shape under my eyes, and honestly, it gives the most airbrushed look ever. And then taking the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush, I do this every time, Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation Powder, and just setting my entire face. Going in with my favorite bronzer for when I'm a little bit more tan, it is the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I am going to really bronze up my face for this look. I feel like when I have a smoky eye on, I really need to be extra bronzed or else I kind of look very washed out. So again, you're going to bronze on both sides. And then taking the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and that center contour shade there, we are just going to very lightly contour out our cheeks and our temples. And then taking my Marc Jacobs Air Blush in the shade Lines and Last Night. So then for the lower lash line, we're going to do basically the exact same thing that we did on the crease. So taking the first two shades and bringing those down the farthest. Then we're going to take the shade Pukey again and going a little bit closer to the lash line. And we're going to make sure we connect this to the outer corner of the eyeshadow. Taking the Kat Von D shade, I know I'm super high maintenance, I can't believe I used this many transition shades in a video. Central Perk on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to apply my Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner in the shade Perversion. And you want to line both the top waterline and the bottom. And then taking my black eyeshadow, I'm just going to stamp that right over top of the eyeliner. Then going in with some velour lashes in the style Rich and Fluffy. So then I'm going to take a NYX micro brow pencil and I'm just going to sketch out the legs of the spider and where those are going to go. So I followed a reference picture and my face chart, but you want to make it look like the spider is like coming out of your eye and sitting on top of your skin. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure that the legs make sense as if a spider were standing. And then taking my Inglot gel liner in the shade 77, and I'm going to cover my eyelid in this. And I make it more of an oval shape. It's not an exact circle or just my eyelid. And again, don't forget to bring that underneath your eye, and you're going to want to line your eye with either this gel liner or a pencil liner just to make sure that everything is super black. And then going in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette again, and the black shade, and setting that entire gel liner. This will just make it extra black and ensure that it doesn't crease when you're wearing it throughout the night. And then taking a pencil brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of that black shadow and smudge out the edges so it looks like there is a shadow from where the hole is going into our face. And then going over the spider legs, I use the gel liner and a really thin brush. And at first I just sketch out where I want the legs, and then I'll go back in and make certain parts thicker, like towards the base. I make them thicker and then thinner going out the farthest part of the leg. Am I making any sense right now? Now, I didn't show you guys all of these because we would be here for a little bit. But I try and flick out the end of the spider legs so that they look like they are on top of the surface and like pushing up and gripping the face. And then again, like I said, I'm just going in with a light line at first, making sure that's where I want it. And then I will go back in and deepen and make thicker the parts closest to the hole. Next, going in with the NYX Professional Makeup Super Skinny Eye Marker. This is great for detail work. It is so fine and the brush doesn't bend, so it's really precise. And I just make the elbows a little bit more round, like the joints of where you can see where the leg turns out. Then going in with that Kat Von D black eyeshadow, and I am sketching out the shadows that the legs are casting on the face. So I keep them pretty adjacent to the real legs and then connecting the shadow at the very end and then deepening it up a little bit, but again keeping it still soft and smoky because it is a shadow after all and not another leg. And I go back in and thicken that up afterwards. So you want to make sure that it makes sense where your shadows are. You don't want to just throw them on random sides. They would usually be underneath the leg rather than casting a shadow outside of the leg, if that makes any sense. So yeah, just try and think about where the shadow would be. If you have to, like, even just cast a shadow from your phone light onto something and see where the shadow falls, and that'll make a lot more sense. Or I followed my reference picture and my face chart again. Then going in with the NYX Professional Makeup white liquid liner, and I am just going to add highlight onto the actual legs. So again, mostly where the elbows are I keep calling them elbows, they're not elbows, they're like joints. They're not even really joints, but and then going into the hole so that you can tell that the leg is coming out of the hole in your eye. Just adding a little bit of separation where the leg changes points. And again, follow a reference picture. It'll make your life a lot easier. Then going in with the Dose of Colors highlighter in the shade Soulmate. This is the collab with I Love Sarah E again. Can't get enough of this stuff. And I just highlighted my face and my cupid's bow. My cheekbones and my cupid's bow. And my inner corner as well. Then going in with the Makeup Forever pencils. This is Wherever Walnut. And I'm just lining my entire lips with these. I'm overlining them a little bit as well. And then taking the shade Totally Taupe, I am going to line my cupid's bow and the sides of my lips so that it creates a little bit more dimension. And then going in with the KKW X Mario lipstick. And I'm just dabbing this on the outer portions of my lips and leaving the center pretty bare. And then I'm going to go in with the Desi X KD No Shade lipstick and apply this to the center. This is a lighter nude shade and it'll really create that dimension to your lips and that fuller look. Then taking two lip glosses from the Dose of Color X I Love Sarah E collab. So there is Barely There and Brillo. And I'm taking Barely There and applying this all over the lips. And then Brillo is the clear glitter one. And I'm just applying this to the cupid's bow and the center of the mouth. And that is it for today's look, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to see plenty more Halloween videos coming your way this month. And we will see you all again very soon. Bye, everyone.